So Nick, how big of a problem are coyotes for Alberta farmers?
Well, that's the thing. We kind of don't know. Anecdotally, we know that coyotes have been an issue for Alberta livestock farmers for generations. And they are considered the main livestock predator in Alberta. But there's very little data that we can point to and say, hey, this is how much damage coyotes cause. But we do know it's a problem that many producers face.
We're seeing an increase in coyote population and conflict. So we're having losses, especially calves during calving season. We're having increase, the herds aren't settling, so we're having kind of stress on the herds, just even having the coyote presence.
The provincial government used to track coyote damage back in the mid-70s, early 80s as part of its predator indemnity program. The data suggests that coyotes were behind more than half of the livestock damage claims at the time, mainly targeting sheep and poultry. There have been a couple of reports since then that suggest coyotes cause a lot of damage for many producers, but people I spoke with acknowledge that there is a research gap, and the industry is starting work to figure out the true impact coyotes have.
So, I mean, obviously farmers want some help with this, but what kind of help do they want?
Money for one. Alberta has a compensation program that helps ranchers whose livestock are harmed by certain predators, but coyotes aren't on that list. The Coyote, the County of Northern Lights in northwestern Alberta plans to push for that to change. They want coyote predation to fall under the program and for funding to be adjusted so the province's compensation program can afford greater payouts. Essentially, people I spoke with said farmers are stuck in the middle, having to eat the cost of coyote predation.
So is there any idea as to whether or not the government is on board with this idea?
Not yet. I did ask them why coyotes are excluded and if they've looked at including them before, but they haven't gotten back to me yet.
And I can't imagine that Alberta is alone in this. Like, coyotes are across the prairies, everything like that. Yeah, so I can't imagine Alberta's alone in this.
It isn't. Other Western Canadian provinces have compensation programs too. Saskatchewan, for one, they have a pretty broad program in that ranchers who have eligible livestock, fowl, or specialty animals, if they are harmed, they could they are able to get fully compensated if the officers deem so. But Alberta stands out because it doesn't cover coyote attacks.
We need this delicate balance of predator-prey relationship, but it's just what happens in the meantime when the predation happens on non-target livestock, right? And then how do we remove that problem wildlife in the event that they start targeting livestock?
So part of the goal for the County of Northern Lights is to get Alberta in line with the rest of the West.
It is a really interesting topic. And again, when you look at that balance between livestock and wildlife and again, compensation for that. So really interesting. Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Nancy.